Well, howdy there, Internet people, it's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump's need for war credit. I'm recording this in the immediate aftermath of Trump's move in Iran. As the world waits to see what Iran's response is going to be and how much new risk was foisted on the U.S., there's one part that infuriates me. It didn't have to happen. And I don't mean that in the way that most people saying that mean it. Sure, intelligence assessments said it was unnecessary, and it appears Trump engaged in this because he was in a mood. I mean the elevated risk to Americans didn't need to happen. But it did, solely because of Trump's ego. Let's be clear on something. Planes flew from the heartland of the U.S. without being intercepted by Iranian air defense. They accessed Iranian airspace and left without an issue. All evidence says this occurred. This occurred while Israel was also freely accessing Iran's airspace. So here's my question. Whatever happened to our failures are known, our successes are not? Trump needed to come out and say he obliterated Iran's facilities for some reason, even though early analysis says that may not be the case. Has the entirety of the U.S. administration forgotten about the concept of plausible deniability? Here's a crazy idea. Stop chasing likes on social media. Let's pretend that Trump truly believed Iran was on the verge of a nuke. If the U.S. had just used the B-2s and added an extra plane to drop some normal surface ordnance after the fact to obscure the scene, and then denied they had done it, what would have happened? Sure, major powers would have said, hey, we think this happened, and maybe they'd show some analysis. But if there's one thing Trump is good at, it's deflecting and explaining things away. How convincing would the evidence have been? Would it be enough to convince Iran to escalate with the U.S.? Even if they did believe it, would they choose to escalate with the U.S. when they don't have to? Worst case scenario, we end up exactly where we are, with Americans all over the region at risk. But I feel like the most likely outcome would have been Iran believing the other country freely accessing their airspace had done it. Sure, Israel would deny it. Maybe. They might actually see it as a benefit. But either way, it wouldn't have altered the conflict dynamics one bit. Except that Iran would believe Israel had greater capability than it does. Again, if Trump truly believed this was necessary, he could have done this without putting Americans all over the region at risk. But then he wouldn't have gotten the social media likes. There was no reason to acknowledge the strikes except for bragging rights. Trump wanted the credit. He chose to accept the responsibility for this strike and everything good or bad that happens because of it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.